Hello everybody and welcome to my channel, The Real Super Sam. Today is another complete history of video on my channel and I hope you enjoy. I wasn't planning to make another complete history of video for a while, but since it's Halloween season, I decided to do a new one and on a lesser known, probably forgotten Spider-Man foe. Growing up, while acquiring my first experiences with Spider-Man, Hitman was a character I remembered, one of the earliest forgotten Spider-Man villains I ever read about. He is in very few stories, you can say less than Blood Spider, but the character of Hitman is shown in every and each one, and I also love the characteristics they gave him, so let's start looking into this guy. Hitman, aka Burt Kenyon, first appeared in the Spectacular Spider-Man issue 4, March 10th, 1977. The first lines he says are here, he is being hired to kill the Vulture, an A-list Spider-Man rogue. He is a professional and one of the best. At the last page, we see him get the drop on Spider-Man and the Vulture. He first appearances right here, this one-page panel, standing over Spider-Man and Vulture about to be victorious. Of course, he appeared in the next issue, The Spectacular Spider-Man issue 5, April 10, 1977. The Hitman is now going to kill Spider-Man himself, so the Vulture can't. But Spider-Man isn't going down without a fight and rams into the Hitman and Vulture. If you've been thinking Hitman is just a guy with a gun, yeah, you're right, and Spider-Man handles him just like you'd guess, by leaving this loser who's after him. But what the Hitman doesn't have in brawn, he makes up for in brains. In the battle, he stuck a tracker on Vulture and Spider-Man to put his grand plan into action, and since he was originally going after just Vulture, Hitman attacks the Vulture and leads the Vulture to a secluded area where the two fight each other. Spider-Man arrives and gets involved. Hitman's suit is heavily padded out. Spider-Man has to hit him more than once to finish him. But he doesn't, and as the battle goes on, it's just him and Vulture, with the Hitman scoping them the whole time. He fires and hits Spider-Man, critically injuring him. Spider-Man then shoots out a web and dangles lifelessly below the bridge. The Hitman has a perfect shot, a shot they'll talk about for years. He waits as the Vulture comes close to kill Spider-Man. Bam! He fires and Spider-Man, with lightning-fast reflexes, grabs Vulture with his knees and spins him around so the bullet busts his power pack that allows him to fly. At the end, Hitman actually gets away, and Spider-Man thinks maybe he'll tell the Punisher about this to get him on Hitman's case, and that was everything in Hitman's first appearance. We didn't get any word on Hitman for exactly 7 months, not until November 10, 1977, where he returned and going after J. Jonah Jameson in The Amazing Spider-Man issue 174. We see Hitman has started off taking another job, this time to kill J. Jonah Jameson. He goes into Jameson's office and holds him at gunpoint, but eventually the staff at the Daily Bugle figure out what's going on in his office. Peter Parker then arrives and jumps into action. Hitman is about to go off with Jameson, but surprisingly the Punisher is also after Hitman. Spider-Man then jumps in through the window and tackles Hitman down, but at the same time, the Punisher of all people comes in through the other side window. Hitman grabs Jameson and heads off with him after dropping a smoke grenade. At the end of the first issue, it's Spider-Man and the Punisher versus Hitman, with Jameson as a hostage, and Hitman and Punisher shooting each other with Hitman in a helicopter. This part is madness. Hitman here is a badass. December 10, 1977 was a historic occasion for Hitman. In the next issue, Amazing Spider-Man issue 175, it is revealed Hitman has kidnapped Jameson because the person who hired him is mad because of an article he wrote. Eventually, Spider-Man and Punisher track Hitman and his employer to the Statue of Liberty, where Hitman is preparing for a fight. Hitman surprisingly turns on his employer and shoots him off the statue, killing him. After that, there is a big battle between Spider-Man, Punisher, and Hitman on the Lady in Green's head. At the end, Hitman and Spider-Man are at the end of each tip of her hat, hanging on for life. It's up to the Punisher to decide who to save, Spider-Man or the man he owns alive, Kenyon. Obviously, he helps Spider-Man, holding Jameson. Hitman sees this and lets go, ultimately killing himself. I told you you owed me a life, soldier, but I never said it had to be mine. It looks like to me Hitman wasn't such an evil madman after all, and now he is finally at peace. After that, believe it or not, Hitman was in a video game. November 1990, the Punisher 1990 video game was released and had Burt as a boss in it. I couldn't find a real picture of him, but I'm sure he looked comic accurate. He returned as a ghost, and the Punisher returned to Big Nothing the same month, November in 1990. He wasn't even a real ghost or in costume, so that was a waste and a weird thing they did bringing him back here. That was it for Hitman though, for almost 19 years. The next time something new with Hitman showed up was in Marvel's Eye of the Camera, issue 3, March 2009. New? Not really, just a flashback at a different perspective from some reporters looking at the death of Hitman some other way. The art is really good. I love how this scene looks at night, seeing how surprising the action Punisher did that night, which was saving a life, Spider-Man's life, must mean Spider-Man is important to the Punisher, and it also looks like criminals, no matter who, never mean much to him. This tells more about the Punisher than Spider-Man, and it is a really good story. He then had an appearance, or just the fact of remembering that he's a Marvel character, in the Clone Conspiracy plot recently in 2017. For issue 2, November 9, 2016, Hitman had a small cameo which is in his next appearances until this day, October 2018. He was shown in issue 4, released January 18, 2017, and Amazing Spider-Man Volume 4, issue 23. His next and last Spider-Man appearance was in February 15, 2017. Once again, nothing but a cameo with the likes of Kangaroo and Ox. Once again, on the same day, he was in the spin-off comic Silk Volume 2, issue 17. His final appearance to date was in Prowler Volume 2, issue 5, February 22, 2017, as, you know, a cameo. None of these are even glorified ones. I know there's a second Hitman, Jim Pierce, but that's Hitman 2, another video I will make. Hitman, I love Hitman. His adventures are fun to read about, and the equipment he uses is cool enough, like a helicopter and a motorcycle. Hitman is a character who deserves some more attention. He is a man who went toe-to-toe with Spider-Man and goes on daring missions. He's also quick to act and very on the fly about what to do next. He even has gone toe-to-toe with Spider-Man and has given him some trouble. I even like his outfit. It doesn't look like something in comics, it's realistic. Something like Burt Kenyon could actually exist in real life. Yes, he is just a guy, but the story and character of Hitman is what I fell in love with while making this video. Hitman may not have been a real villain, just a rogue to Spider-Man at 2 points in his career. Hitman dying and leaving Punisher with no grief, the two had a history that I wish was explored more. Do I think Hitman will return to a big role again? No, and I'm fine with that. There's parts in his first appearance I like more that aren't actually even with him. I like that he's an expert marksman, but if he did return, I think he would just be Burt Kenyon, no Hitman identity, an easy enemy to take care of with just a glorified cameo. Spider-Man Complete History of videos will be later down the line. There is so much content and appearances of even the C-list ones like Hydro Man and Tombstone. A big complete history of project I want to work on is the Molecule Man, since it would be his whole life since he recently died. Well, with all that said, thank you all for watching and please leave comments down below for who would you like to see in future complete history ofs. Bye guys, and have a good day. Stay away, motherfucker! It's just one of those days! It's all about he said, she said.